Hi everybody, welcome to Python Coders. If you've been here before, welcome back. Today I'm going to show you how to code your receipt calculator. So basically what this program is going to do is it's going to add up the different costs of each person's meal or product. It's going to add on the tax to that, and it's going to calculate the tip depending on if you want to say, okay, I want to give a 10% tip, then it's going to calculate how much that is. And it's going to calculate if you want to, for example, split the bill with 3 other people. It'll be able to do that and divide the cost. So basically, it's going to do everything you would need to calculate the total cost of certain meals or products. So last time what we did, I showed you guys how to do some basic math calculations in the shell. So now we are going to use a new file, and at the top we are going to type import math. So when we do calculations in the shell, we don't need import math, but when we're doing it in a file like this, we do need import math. So now I'm just going to put a little welcome print statement. I'm going to put looking to split the cost of a group purchase, and then /n, which will enter one line. Welcome to our receipt calculator. And then /n, we will ask you a few questions about your purchases to calculate the total cost per person. Okay, so now we are letting them know exactly what this program will do. So now we can start coding. So I'm just going to enter a line, and then I am going to make a variable. So I'm going to call my variable price all. So basically this will be the price of everything. So how we're going to do this, we are going to ask them, the user, to input the cost of each of their meal or product. So what we're going to do is we're going to do an eval, which will evaluate whatever they put in as their input. So we're going to put eval input, and then quote, step 1. So I'm just going to do this in different steps. Step 1, please input the cost of each meal / product. Then, period. We have we'll do /n. And then I'm just going to put a little note so they know how to do this. So we'll put note, eliminate the percent. Sorry. Eliminate the $sign. Okay. And then instead, separate, sorry, typo, separate with a plus. Okay, so now, period, parentheses, quote, and then parentheses. Okay, so why we need so many parentheses here is because we have a note here in parentheses, and then we're going to have a quote to end the statement, and then a parentheses to end off that input, and then a parentheses, because we have a parentheses around this for the eval. Okay, so now after this, we are going to, so now basically what this is going to do, they're going to input the cost of each of their meals or products, and it's going to add them together. Now we are going to ask for the tax. So I'm just going to do tax P, which is the percent tax, so tax percent. And then we are going to use a float. So regularly when you put in an input, it's going to save it as a string. So if you put in, like, let's say you ask, what is your favorite color? And they put in blue. It's not going to save that as a value. It's going to save it as a string of words. So in this case, we do need to save it as a actual numerical value, because if they put in, okay, I want to give, the tax in my area is 10%, then we need to save the number 10. We can't just save it as a string. So a float will convert it from a string into a numerical value. So we're going to put float, parentheses, input, other parentheses, step 2. And we will have, what is the sales tax in your area? And then, just in case, we will give them a little note too. We'll say note. Eliminate and then we're going to put single quote, percent sign. Okay, now parentheses, quote, parentheses, parentheses. Okay, so now we've asked for the price and we've asked for the percent tax. So now we are going to ask for the percent tip. So we're going to put tip underscore P equals, same thing, float, input, step 3. What percentage would you like to give as a tip? Okay. /n, we'll give them a note. Note. Eliminate in this case, we're going to also have percent. So eliminate the percent sign. Okay, period. And then, we'll put a period here. Okay, so period, parentheses, quote, parentheses, parentheses. Okay. So now the last thing we're going to ask them is if they're splitting the bill with anyone. So we're just going to put my variable I'm going to call split. So I'm going to put split equals float of input, parentheses, and then step 4. This is the last step. How many people are you splitting the bill with? So right now we're assuming that they are splitting the bill with some people, but we'll put as a note if they do not, they are not splitting the bill with anyone. With anyone. Just type 1. There we go. And then period, parentheses, quote, parentheses, parentheses. Okay, so now we have all our steps, but we're not actually doing anything with that information. We just have the total cost of their meal or product. We have the percent tax in their location. We have the percent tip they want to give, and we have how many people are splitting the bill with, but we're not actually doing anything with that. So now we're going to do something with all that information. So we are going to make another variable. This is the last variable we'll make. So total, this is going to be total price equals. So now we're going to do some calculations. We're going to take the price of all, then plus the price of all. Oh, we're going to actually put this in parentheses so that to do the computer knows to do this first. Times the another parentheses tax of p over 100. I'm going to put 100.0. And then parentheses. Okay, so the price of all is just the total cost. And then we're going to add the percent tax. And then we are going to do virtually the same thing. So we're just going to copy and paste this. And we're going to add on. Instead of the tax P, we are going to put the tip. It's the same thing, same calculation. Okay, now we're going to actually need a triple parentheses here because that'll be the parentheses for there. And then we are going to divide this by split, or how many people they're splitting the bill with. Okay, now we're going to take the total price and we are going to round it because let's say that they have a bunch of decimals. So like let's say they have their cost their meal was 6.53 plus 14.78. Then once we do let's say they have a 10% tax. Once we do 10% of that, it's going to have 3 decimal places or more, depending on if this is rounded or not. So we are going to round this. We're going to say the total price and then comma 2. So I'm just going to, so it's clear, I'm going to put the total, we'll put the final price. So it's less confusing because we're basically remaking the variable total P. But to make it less confusing, we're just going to put final P. Then we're going to put, finally, we're going to put print, parentheses, quote, the total cost per person is, colon, and then we are going to put a $sign. We're going to end that, and then we're going to put there the final P. And then another comma, and then we're just going to put, a period there. Okay, so now we are going to save this file as, I'm going to call it split the bill.py. Save that in my Python work. Okay, so now we're going to run this. So looking to split the cost of a group purchase, welcome to our receipt calculator. We will ask you a few questions about your purchase or purchases to calculate the total cost per person. Step 1, please input the cost of each meal or product. So we're going to eliminate the $sign and separate with a plus. So let's say we have 8.56, or we'll do an easier version. Let's just use 8 plus 9 plus 10. The percent tax, let's say we have a 10% tax. Let's say we want to give a 10% tip. And we're splitting the bill with 3 people. So now it's going to add all of these up, and it's going to add on a 10% tax and a 10% tip, divide that by 3, and give us a total of $10.8. So now you can do this with as many numbers as you want. So if you put in 100 numbers here and divide it by 100 people, or 100 numbers and you divide it by 5 people, if they each bought a lot of stuff, then that'll also work. So you can use more complicated numbers. I just use some easy numbers, so it's easy to see. So, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please like it. If you have any questions or ideas for new videos, put them in the comments below, and I'll try my best to address them. Happy programming!